His legs ached, his back throbbed. His eyes were so tired he could have fallen asleep the moment he lay down, except he couldn't, because he was too hungry to sleep. If you've ever come home like that, the night before payday, to nothing but instant noodles, and then eaten like a king for 7 days after, I need you to watch this one. Daniel was 27, and every morning before sunrise, he was already loading his delivery van. 10, sometimes 12 hours a day, driving across the city, lifting boxes, running up apartment stairs. By the time he got home, his legs were numb and his back ached with every step. Home was a small rented room, the only place his paycheck could actually afford, the kind of place where the landlord answered the phone but never showed up. Some nights, when it rained hard, the ceiling would start to drip, then leak, until water pooled on the floor and soaked into whatever he'd left out. Daniel would grab an old towel, wipe it down, too tired to even be angry about it anymore. Then he'd walk into the kitchen, stomach growling, and find exactly what he always found the night before payday: one bread packet and a pack of instant noodles. Same as last month, same as the month before that. But the moment his paycheck hit his account, everything changed. For 7 straight days, Daniel lived like a different person. Restaurants, new shoes, nights out with friends, camera up, posting like life was perfect. He used to joke with his coworkers about it. "We don't work for money. We just work for 7 days of groceries. Then we're broke again." Everyone laughed. Nobody changed anything, least of all Daniel. Daniel used to think this was just how life worked. He'd grown up watching his mother stretch one grocery bag across an entire week, telling him and his sister the food would multiply if they just believed hard enough. A small lie she told so they'd smile instead of worry. Nobody in his family had ever sat him down and talked about money. Not because they didn't care, because nobody had ever taught them either. So when Daniel finally started earning his own paycheck, he didn't know how to do anything differently. He just did what he'd always seen: survive the hard days and celebrate the good ones like they'd never end. One Tuesday, day 8 after payday, right on schedule, his van wouldn't start. The shop wanted $400. Daniel checked his account, $12. He called his friends first, all broke too, all waiting on their own paychecks. Finally, embarrassed, he called his younger sister, Anna, still in college, working part-time at a coffee shop. She sent the money in 2 minutes. No lecture, no hesitation. When Daniel finally picked up his van and drove home that evening, tired and ashamed, he stopped in the doorway of his room. The ceiling was leaking again. Same damp patch on the floor. And in the kitchen, the same bread packet, the same instant noodles. Nothing had changed, except now he owed his sister $400 too. That night, Daniel lay in the dark, staring at the water stains spreading across his ceiling, and for the first time in years, he wasn't crying from exhaustion. He was crying from shame. His little sister, still in school, working half the hours he did for half the pay, had saved more money in 1 year than he had in his entire adult life. She had a plan. He had excuses, and one thought kept repeating in his head until he finally fell asleep. It was never his paycheck that was failing him. It was him. He thought about his mother again, about the promise he'd made her at 16, the night he'd caught her quietly crying over an unpaid bill she thought he was asleep for. He'd promised her then that one day she'd never have to stretch a grocery bag again. Lying there in the dark, staring at that same water stain, Daniel realized he hadn't kept that promise. He hadn't even tried. The next morning, Daniel asked Anna how she did it. She smiled and pulled out her phone. "I've been trying to show you this for a year." A simple system. Before spending anything, set money aside first, even if it's small. Daniel started small too. He wrote down every dollar he spent. He canceled subscriptions he'd forgotten he even had. Instead of takeout, he learned to actually cook. Real meals, not just bread and noodles out of desperation. The first month, he saved $60. It felt embarrassing compared to his old spending, but it was the first time in his life he'd had any money left over at all. His friends noticed. "Bro, "You're no fun anymore." Daniel just smiled. "I'm having fun. I just don't panic every time something breaks." On weekends, Daniel started a small pressure washing side hustle. Driveways, decks, siding, using an old machine he fixed up himself. Every dollar went straight into a savings account he swore not to touch. Eventually, he saved enough to push his landlord to finally fix the roof. And when that didn't work, to just move somewhere that didn't leak. 2 years later, that weekend hustle had grown into a small local business with 2 part-time employees and a client list that kept growing by referral. Daniel bought his own car, paid in full, no loan. He wasn't rich, but for the first time in his life, he wasn't one broken-down van away from disaster. One evening, there was a knock on his door. It was Anna, no longer the confident college student, but a nervous new graduate, staring down her first real paycheck and her first real bills, completely overwhelmed. She sat across from him and asked quietly, "How do I not mess this up?" Daniel smiled, grabbed a notebook, and started teaching her the exact same system she'd once taught him. Some lessons come full circle. A few weeks later, on a rainy afternoon, Daniel found himself driving past his old building, the one with the leaking roof. He pulled over, sat in his car for a moment, and watched the rain run down the same cracked window he used to stare at every night before payday. He didn't feel angry anymore. He felt grateful. Because that leaking roof hadn't just given him somewhere to sleep for a while. It had shown him, more clearly than anything else ever could, exactly what he never wanted to go back to. Daniel's income never saved him. His awareness did. It was never about how much he earned. It was about who was really in control, him or his habits. A paycheck can disappear in a week, but a plan lasts. So here's a question for you. When your next paycheck hits your account, will it control you, or will you finally control it? Tell me in the comments. What's one money habit you're changing starting today? And if this story meant something to you, share it with someone who needs to hear it. Thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next one.